So, the remainder theorem and the factor theorem. So we did a little theory here, P of x divided by A, and we wrote this like this as requested in our book. And then if we decided to put A in, so whatever makes that 0, we would get A minus A times Q of A plus R, and that would just be R. And then we proved it over here. We said, okay, we have this thing, we're going to divide by that. We took the 2 out here, we did long division, and we got a remainder of 5. Then we wrote it this way. We put the remainder of 5 there. And then we put 2 in for x here. Everywhere there was an x. And I put 2 in because that's what made this 0. That was my A. And I ended up getting 5. So we wrote down that the remainder theorem of P of x divided by that, P of A is the remainder. So this A is that A. They're the same A. The factor theorem, there's our first example. This is this way, putting in the 2 to get negative 10, or doing it this way, one or the other, to get the remainder. That's all we wanted. Remainder is 10. Okay, what makes this 0? Negative 1. So this time the A is negative 1, yeah? Okay, I'm going to do P of negative 1 equals negative 1 cubed minus 5 times negative 1 squared minus bracket negative 1. Now, if you have a negative there, you have to bracket everything. Because if you're raising to an odd power, this stays negative, and if you're raising to an even power, it becomes positive. Remember, I picked that because I know that it gives me the remainder. So that is negative 1 minus 5 plus 1 plus 4. Oh. That's wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's okay. And you get negative 1? Or I could have done synthetic division and gotten the same answer, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so we're showing how to get the remainder now. All right, on we get. Decide whether each of the following are factors. Now, what do I have to have for it to be a factor? Nice. The remainder has to be 0. Right? The remainder has to be 0 for it to be a factor. So I'm going to try dividing that. 1, 1, negative 3, negative 6. Maeve, do you see where I got that? 1, 1, negative 3, negative 6. Okay? And then out here is negative 1. Or you're putting in negative 1. I don't care how you do it. Whatever makes you get it right. So is x minus 1 a factor? No. Because the remainder was negative 3. Okay, how do I set it up for this one? You can put 2 in. You can put P of 2. Or I can do this, synthetic division, or this. I'm trying to do it both ways so people can take their pick. That's going to be a big deal, because remember how we had to factorize on our exam last time? Now we're going to have to factorize things like that. Yeah, and we're going to have to know how to get the factors. We'll do that tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, Monday. You ready? I'm going to flip. Tomorrow, if you're here. All right, here we go. Find the value of k. Ah! Okay, so I think it's best to do the two different ways. So I'm going to do this way first, the remainder theorem way. Why did I pick 1? Yep, this has to equal 0, so x has to be 1, right? So I put the 1 there, and then I'm going to put 1 cubed minus 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus k. And I want to find the value of that so that the remainder is 5. So this should be 5, because this gives me the remainder, right? The remainder theorem says if you plug in a, you should get the remainder. So I'm going to write 1 minus 1 plus 2 plus k equals 5. What's your name? 3. Okay, k equals 3. You want to ask a question now? I'm going to stop for a minute. That so that the people on the video can see that we had to mention this thing, which is a really good thing to mention. So that really is not, doesn't turn positive, because that's the case. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the or I can do it the synthetic division way. So I can go 1, negative 1, 2, k. And I can put my 1 outside. I can go 1, 1, 0. You okay? 0, 2, 2, k plus 2. It's nice. And then I know the remainder has to be equal to 5, because that's what they told me in the problem. It's nice. What's the quotient here, just for the heck of it? What's with that 0? What do you do? Well, it started with an x cubed, so what's that coefficient for? So that's 1x squared plus 0x, that's not there, plus 2. That's the quotient. I know the problem doesn't ask for the quotient, but I just, since that 0 came up, I thought it would be good to plop it out there.